Hi all, hope you are doing good. Uh, yes, today I'm planning to start a series of videos about Navision workflow, as you can see on my screen. The reason behind starting Navision workflow is I see so many questions in the forum related to workflow, and what I feel is we still need more discussion regarding workflow to have a clarity how it works and how we can use it for approvals, which was there till NAV 2015. So if you are one who is working on Microsoft Dynamics NAV 2016 and you are still finding issues in setting up the workflow, uh, about approvals and emails and all those stuffs, then I would suggest to keep subscribe it and keep watching the videos which are coming into the future. This particular video is an introduction where I'll list down the questions which I receive as a query related to the workflow. You can also share your views if you have any regarding workflow, if you want something else to be discussed specific to the workflow. I'll try my best to include all your queries and suggestions. So in this particular video, we'll see what are the common queries that we have related workflow in NAV 2016. So let's start. So the first query which I get is the workflow a replacement of approval in NAV 2016, or is it an enhanced feature which can do other things than approval? Okay. The second query is how I set up approvals in NAV 2016, because I see the buttons on my standard pages of sales and purchase, but when I click on it, it gives me an error that no workflow is configured. So how I set up my approvals in NAV 2016? People who read about it and go a step ahead, they ask that I have already set up the workflow, but my approval emails are not getting triggered from Navision. So when somebody is sending an approval request, the approver is not getting email. So what is that which I'm missing? I heard somewhere on some PPTs and all about the restricted record. What is actually restricted record in terms of workflow? Then okay, I can have I'm able to see the emails which approver are receiving, but I want to change the template of the email which is going. I want to have my logo, or I want to change the table which is coming. So where is the email template for the approvals, which I used to have in approval templates in till 2015? I heard it is possible to configure email as per my requirement. Like as a user of Dynamics NAV, I can say that I need the emails from Navision which are related to workflow, let's say on a digest of weekly, daily, or maybe instantly. So where is that setup and how I can set it up for my users? What is the difference between workflow and workflow templates? So when I open my workflow menu in Role Tailor Client in NAV 2016, I see two options. One is workflow and one is workflow template. So what is the actual difference? What are workflow steps and how we can configure it? So if you have seen workflow, there's a workflow. When you click on it, it contain a workflow header, and then you have workflow steps which have some indentation and all those stuffs. So what are those and how we can set it up? What is workflow event and response, and how it is different from event and subscription, which is again a new feature released with NAV 2016. So this is one of the common question. Is NAS is required to use workflow or not? Because people read somewhere when there's a partial information, they heard about it. So that's one other question. And then to summarize, these are some random question. What are workflow user groups? What are workflow event hierarchies? What is an event response combination? And what is a workflow table relation? So these are the common question, and then the final, which a technical will mostly ask, that how do I customize or create a new workflow. So if you are someone who have any of these issues which are listed in this presentation, please keep watching the channel. I'll be creating a new playlist with the name of Microsoft Dynamics NAV 2016 workflow. You can keep watching the videos which are coming and suggesting if you have some other questions which I just discussed. And hope I'll see you all in the next video, which will be about the introduction of the workflow, where we'll see what all are the prerequisites to start using workflow in Microsoft Dynamics NAV 2016. So that's all for today. Stay connected, keep reading and sharing. Thanks.